Oh boy, this build. This fucking build, I tell you. Now, if you know me, I don't make my builds with the sole intention of being the best MLG Mountain Dew drinking Doritos eating player in all of Xenoverse 2. I design my builds to harbor a unique playstyle and utilize different skills in different ways. You see this with my Purest Evil Majin build when I shoot off a kill driver to top off the massive damage of teleporting Vanishing Ball, and with my Savage Queen when I group Crusher Ball, Meteor Burst, and Death Psycho Grip in one massive explosion of damage. But this build, nothing was on my mind but how much damage I could pump out with this one. Now, look at this face. Who could be hurt by this cute little button? Yeah, this build is kinda nuts. Not just because it has several ways to insta-kill your opponent, but also because it's one of, if not the easiest build of mine to use. Before I get to my gear, skills, and signature tricks, I want to briefly mention stamina break attacks. I feel like I don't really have to say anything about it because I touched up on stamina break attacks with my female human striker. But for the newly initiated, what I dub the Paralysis Palm is done by doing a 1 heavy, 3 light combo or any other knockback combo that teleports you behind a knockback opponent, then land either stamina break. The second, dubbed the Booty Palm, is done with the 4 heavy attack combo, then the light stamina break. Now that we're caught up to speed, let's go ahead and get to gear. The outfit I wear with this preset is comprised of Kappa's battlesuit top from PQ 102, Universe 6 and Affix, the 4-star Dragon Ball bottoms which can be purchased from the normal clothing shop, Beerus's gauntlets which can also be purchased from the normal clothing shop, and Vidal's shoes from PQ 56, Hercules number 1. The QQ bang I use is one that you've seen about a dozen times by now, or at least have seen something similar. This one, which was crafted from Toa's clothes and Goku's tracksuit, that's right, I didn't forget to mention how I crafted my QQ bang this time, gives +5 in Ki, Stamina, and Ki Blast supers, the usual, and -4, 2, and 5 in Health, Basic Attacks, and Strike supers. Pretty standard stuff for a Ki Blaster. You can also craft a poor man's version of this QQ bang with 2 pieces of Beerus's clothes. Finally, the Super Soul I use is a monster, no I'm a devil. I use it for the exact same reason as my Recursion Glass Cannon. You may be asking though, why not use a better damage Super Soul? Well, let me educate you. The answer is, I don't need it. Now we can get to attributes. You probably worked this out by now, but I maxed out both Ki and Ki Blast supers at 125. 42 of the points went into stamina for extra defense, and the rest went into health. The point distribution itself is pretty explanatory, so let's go ahead and move on to skills. The first skill in this build is good old Gravity Impact, the cornerstone skill of one of my best builds in Xenoverse 1. This skill is like a super powerful Ki Blast cannon. It shoots a powerful blast which sends your opponent flying for a lot longer than pretty much every knockback attack in the game. Even better, it only takes 1 Ki bar. While for the most part this skill is mainly used after a stamina break, Gravity Impact can also be comboed into female human combos pretty easily. It can be used after the 1 to 3 light 2 heavy combo at the top of the map, after any knockback cancel such as the 1 heavy 3 light combo, and after the 5 light 3 heavy combo if you land near the bottom of the map. The second skill in this build is Light Grenade. Alone, it's a pretty good combo finisher for Ki Blasting characters and can be comboed into almost any combo for high damage, but hardly any allow for a fully charged blast to land unless their stamina broken. The knockback attack is among one of the combos that can. Regardless, this move is mainly used to top off any one of my high damage combos if they don't finish my opponent. Typically after I first land Gravity Impact, since both that and a fully charged Light Grenade can deal 7,500 damage, which is more than most standard basic attack combos. Now you've seen the third skill on this build in another build, particularly my Purest Evil Majin, and is a primary setup skill like Gravity Impact. That skill is Murder Grenade. Despite being pretty limited in its uses, Murder Grenade is great for adding an extra layer of damage to some already deadly Ki Blast combos. Both Gravity Impact and Light Grenade can both be comboed into after Murder Grenade, as well as one of my ultimates, which I'll get to in a minute. Before we do, I'll briefly mention my last super, which is really just padding for an already powerful build. My last super is Faint Shot. I'll be honest, the only reason the skill is on here is because it looks kinda cool. I reserved the slot for a defensive skill, so it can be replaced with just about any of the counter moves, preferably Godbreaker since that one scales with Ki Blast damage. But with Faint Shot, if you're fighting someone who knows how to deal with back hits, you can throw them off, and if the move lands, you can rush in for a combo. Now we can finally get to the 2 heavy hitters of this build, my pride and jewels, my bread and butter, Final Kamehameha, and Ultra Fighting Bomber. Ultra Fighting Bomber is a particularly hard skill to use since the only time you can reliably land it is after a heavy stamina break, but the damage it deals well makes up for the long startup time. And Final Kamehameha is one of the easiest to use and most powerful ultimates in the game, which can be easily comboed into on a stamina broken opponent. But why would you do that when we have an entire avenue of epic signature tricks to talk about? Son of a bitch, I forgot to talk about my escape move and transformation. I don't think I really need to mention that the transformation I use here is Potential Unleashed, so on with the escape move, I use Dragon Burn. I don't really use escape moves often, but in the off chance that I'm fighting someone who thinks it's a brilliant idea to rush me with less than 2 stamina bars, I can use Dragon Burn to set up a heavy stamina break or a Gravity Impact combo. Anyway, now we can finally get to the amazingly powerful combos this build has, but I warn you, the use of these signature combos could result in a mound of hate messages. Like I said before, your basic skills like Gravity Impact and Light Grenade can be comboed into in several ways, but their primary use is to top off one of my high damage ultimate combos, should my opponent survive the brunt of the force. One of my deadliest combos kicks off with a Paralysis Palm stamina break combo, but with a heavy stamina break, not the light. While your opponent is sitting there helpless, hit them with Ultra Fighting Bomber. After they're blown away, dash after them, hit them with 4 light attacks, activate Gravity Impact after the knockback cancel, then blast them with a fully charged Light Grenade. This will result in over 22,000 damage with Potential Unleashed, which for most people is going to be an insta-kill. You can also replace Light Grenade with Final Kamehameha if you have 9 bars of ki to deal almost 30,000 damage. As a reference, the only cast character to survive this is Broly, since he has a Super Soul by ki is building overflowing, as well as a health bar that reaches above half of green. So it's safe to assume that this combo will not kill someone like my tanking Big Mac. The second and understandably last ultimate combo is doing either the Paralysis Palm or the Booty Palm with a light stamina break, hit them with a Murder Grenade, then immediately follow up with Final Kamehameha. This combo is mainly used to finish off an opponent who's lower on health than the previous combo can do, but if you want to make it an insta-kill combo, just like with Ultra Fighting Bomber, charge after them with 4 light attacks, hit them with Gravity Impact, then follow up with Light Grenade. Both of these combos are supremely easy to pull off, and thanks to my Super Soul, you can pull them off extremely early in the fight. Well guys, this was the last of the starting builds for each of my characters, which means it's a fresh start for new builds for each character. I'm not entirely certain if I want to just stick with the same sequence that I had before, meaning I start with my female Saiyan, then on with my male Majin, and so on and so forth, or if I should just start with a new sequence each time I make a build for my new characters. I'm gonna go figure that out, and you guys will find out the next time I upload a build. Also, before I forget, I do have a Twitter account for those who don't know. I always leave a link to it in the description of all my videos. I plan on being a bit more active there, including talking about future videos, so if you want some brief sneak peeks every now and again about what I'm planning, swing on by and say hello. Also, and I know this is probably gonna sound arrogant or pig-headed, but I'll just throw it out there. If you make some fan art of my characters and tweet them at me, I could start doing some art showcases, or maybe even put the really amazing ones in the thumbnails for future videos. You know, sort of like getting the community involved in making the videos. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there if you're interested. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to the next build, whoever that's gonna be on, and I'll see you in the next video.